Stevie, let me just ask you before we even get started. Do you think there's a gender war going on, bro?
I don't think there's a war. I just think one gender's getting their ass whooped right now.
Who's getting their ass whooped, bro?
Hey, man, what they want, what they're afraid for us to be, man. The masculinity in itself is just, demonized, bro. So it's not really a lot of fight back because the world won't allow us to right now, man. So, it's definitely a woman's world right now.
You saying it's a gynocentric order? You saying the women are winning right now?
Absolutely, bro. It's not even close.
Marcus, is there a gender war right now, brother?
I wouldn't say it's a gender war, because I don't think there's any competition between men and women as far as it goes as like, what are they trying to compete with us for? Like, we can't battle with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're putting up a little fight, but to me, I could never, it's the word war. You get what I'm saying? Like, for me, between men and women, as soon as you start using that, women are going to jump on it like we're attacking them rather than just telling the truth. Do you get what I'm saying? So to call it a war, for me, it's just men telling their truth, like, finally.
All right, cool. So if you're saying that there's no competition, Stevie just said that men are getting their arse whooped right now, right? But you said there's no competition.
Yeah, because I mean, for me personally, like, when men stop going with certain chicks, when men stop, kind of like, if we get rid of the simps, we don't really have a problem with women because they're gonna have to acquiesce, innit? Like, what are they gonna do when there's no more simps? When men are talking that real shit, like, what are they gonna do after that? So, for me, again, it's not really about if there's a war and are women hammering us down right about now. For me, it's just simply like the family unit is this in a mess, innit? So when the family unit's in a mess, how can women think they're winning? It's a logical thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how can they be beating us if? And I agree with a lot of Stevie's points, and I watch most of his videos. Do you get what I'm saying? But for me, just giving them like the thing to say it's a war, makes them think that they can actually level with it.
They can compete.
Yeah, there's not a competition.
Stevie, is there a competition, you think, bro?
I think he's only explaining one layer to it, right? I think there's a lot more dimensions to it, man, because when I think of warfare, I think about the totality of circumstances, bro. And right now, at least society, for the majority of people, women definitely have all the leverage. Like, granted, like, the powers that be, the people, the puppeteers, for lack of better terms, who is really like making society move, the majority of these people are men. But the actual, in the real world, you know what I'm saying, in present time, men are just on the low end of the totem pole in regards to everything, bro. When it comes to, marriage, criminal law, paternity system, the double standards in society where, men are the ones being targeted when it comes to, like, essay or grave or when you put domestic violence, things of that nature, man. Like, I know, man versus women war. I know how that sounds, but it's really a lot more. It's a lot more going on in actual warfare. Like, society is right now is constructed to benefit women, and it's not even close right now. They have the majority, at least here in America. It's more women than men. They're getting an education. They're getting higher paying jobs. The feminist movement has turned these women into men by default, turning men into women. You know what I'm saying? Like, the men out here that really embodying masculinity, who are not afraid to say it, who aren't really worried about cancel culture. Like, that's few and far between, man. Most people are afraid to speak their thoughts, man. That's like a masculine trait. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot more going on than just single family households and like, of course, a woman trying to fight a man or things of that nature. That's a whole different conversation. But, like, really looking at what's going on, bro, I think men are getting their ass whooped.
Do you know what, Stevie?
That's 30% of men, 30 years old or less, and even having sex, bro. Like, that's crazy, dog. The porn industry fucking men's heads up, bro.
One in
women
three
are empowered to be hoes and shit. Like we getting our ass drugged.
What it is, the stat you said is 1 in 3 men between the age of 18 to 35 have not had sex in the last year and or are virgins. So you brought up something there, Stevie. Yeah, you said men can be women and women can be men. I want to kind of ask, because you just made my brain go somewhere. Do you think that's part of the war, that men are being told that they can't be men and they have to be women now? Marcus, do you think that's part? Because I know you don't like the word war, but if men are now being more feminine, isn't that a war against masculinity?
Yeah, but again, bro, like, for me, I grew up in
word just fucking with him.
Sorry, say again, Steve.
I think the word war may just be getting you.
Yeah, it is. It is, because the household I grew up in, it's not like women were a competition or could be a competition to men. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe that's just my own individual experience, yeah? But like, when I see a lot of men out here now, like, I can only stand up for the man them, but it's just, at the same time, it's like, I see a lot of, okay, this is the situation. Women are getting put on a totem pole. They have for time, innit? Like, this isn't just started, yeah? But yeah, I see a lot of my brothers still being like, all right, I'm going to still go out with this type of woman or that type of, the same women we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guys will still date them, right? The guys will still impregnate these women, right?
What, these crazy modern day
women?
Yeah.
And we know that this hasn't just started, but yet a lot of guys are still getting with these chicks. Like, look at the rappers, yeah? They're still dating. And then they influence a lot of men, right?
Right.
So what's the point where we turn around and say, as men, yeah, like, to our sons and to our nephews and etc., yeah, when's the point that we turn around and say, like, don't follow this type of man because that type of man leads you to this type of woman?
Right. That's one of the points that I want to make. Like, is it time, Stevie, yeah, do you think it's time for men to start talking to men and saying, that type of man is not the type of man that we need to be?
Absolutely, bro.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. But I don't, his example, I don't think that is really going to make the pendulum swing a different way if we, were to accommodate that. So say, for instance, the majority of men stop simping. Right? Is that gonna change the outcome of when a man gets his ass beat in court when it comes to paternity court? Is that gonna change the higher rates in which we have to go to jail compared to women when they commit the same crime? Is that gonna change the optics of when the cop pulls up and there's a domestic violence situation taking place? Like, when I'm talking about war, I'm talking about all these circumstances that are really putting men in a bind. You know what I'm saying? Right. Is that going to change the fact that men are no longer seeking, higher education as much anymore because the burden of I'm having a brain fart right now, man. But the burden to be a man is as large as it is. Is it going to change these things? Like, us, just the inner dynamics of like men and women dating. That's cool. We can talk about that shit all day and like get men learned up to navigate through that space as best as possible. But what we really need to be focusing on is how to get men to navigate this space where they're not going to get taken advantage of by society as a whole. And right now, to me, the war is society not even demonizing men, but like, not putting any worth to a man's life. Like, we just get looked over, bro. Like, all the energy, all of the weight, everything is placed in the female's hand, bro. They pretty much dictate everything, bro, for the majority. But the thing is,
so Stevie, yeah? Let me just cut you there, brother, yeah?
Yeah.
Who placed that power in the female's hands?
Ooh, that's loaded.
I'm saying, like, did men place that power in females' hands?
As far as like the examples I was providing?
Yeah, like, because for me, right, I'm just trying to figure out, because I agree with everything that you're saying. It's a gynocentric order right now. Yeah. Women have too much power in society. Women can take, like I did a show yesterday with Pearl, right? And we were talking about divorce. And I was saying a woman can cheat on a man, then divorce him, take his house, take his cars, take his children, and then dictate to that man when and where he can or cannot see his children. Bro, that's too much power for one person to have. For me, right?
I know where it comes from, though. It comes every time we have an issue that's like layered like this, you trace it back to the dollar, bro. Every time. Because the way court systems are set up right now stem from how it really needed to be when the man was the breadwinner and the mother wasn't making any money. And God forbid, like the man dies or he leaves his women. Now the woman shit out of luck. Like she has nothing to take care of herself. So they implemented laws to accommodate that, right? In the traditional times. But now we sped up to these modern times where those same policies are no longer needed, but they haven't adjusted accordingly. So now you have all these modern ass women who are totally capable of being able to take care of themselves, but they're still taking advantage of how the court systems have always been to exploit men's finances, bro. Like the divorce court, paternity court, all they looking for is the dollar. That's it. And they sucking you dry. They can give two fucks about who got the baby, who's this, that, and the third. Like, where the money at? And most times than not, the men have the money, so they're gonna take that. They're gonna take that money from men. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, feminist movement, trace it back to the dollar, bro. Like, granted, feminist movement came from like not being able to vote, and regardless how you feel about that shit, that's where it stemmed from. But fast forward to 2022. This third wave feminism shit's got out of hand. Women can do whatever they want. Trace it to the dollar. How much purchasing power do women have today? Pretty much all of it, dog. All of it. So now you empower these women to go out here and spend $1, and then you feminize these men and keep them in these holes, keep it in these pockets where they can't do shit, bro. Just empower these women to be hoes and spend money and all that shit and keep the economy going, bro. That's all it is. It's all it is.
Marcus, do you think the reason why women have so much power now is because of money?
Yeah, I can't go against that. Like, yeah, because you can see the change in the household. Yeah, over the last 25 years, you can see a massive change. Yeah, and it is, a lot of it is financial. So I agree with Stevie on that 100%. My only input on that again is like, how did it get to that stage? This is a question I keep on asking about this subject. Yeah, it's like, how did it get to the stage? Like, other men must have made laws, made rules to put the general everyday man in this position
at a disadvantage.
Yeah, like